Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of
To
Allegiance.
the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I remind you, if you please silence your phones. Speaking of which, we're going to change order real quickly here just to accommodate the sheriff. He's got someplace to be. So if the sheriff would come forward and we'll address his needs right away.
All right, I have two 144s. The first is for a jail officer, Mark Fowl, one of our jail officers, that accepted a position with the the Union County Sheriff's Department as a jail officer. A little better pay, better insurance. He wasn't wanting to leave, but couldn't really resist the opportunity. He was working over there part-time, and they offered him the position. We did interviews. We selected Michael Grizel, local Fayette County man, great kid. Did some tours over in Afghanistan. Absolutely fantastic kid. Has been a good fit so far. So with your guys' approval, I'd like to hire Michael Grizel.
I'll make a motion we hire him.
I second.
We have a motion to accept that 144 for the jail officer, and seconded. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Okay, the second 144, unfortunately, Kyle Miller, one of our new deputies, fortunate for him, unfortunate for us, has accepted a position with Frontier Communications to install cable, internet, and all that. His brother is a supervisor there. Opportunity presented itself. Quite a lot more money. Me and Shirley, I talked to her a little bit about this yesterday. She was a little discouraged because of what you guys had done with the pay raises, that we'd lost another person, but it's not even apples and oranges. This is apples and spaceships. It's completely different. It's a different line of work. Kyle has been a great officer, real asset to our department, but he has decided to accept that, and that will be effective. He'll start with them June 13th. So time is of the essence with that. We do not have anybody to hire at this time. We ran a process for the last one. We had 3 to select from, and we've selected all 3 of those. So I would like to hire for that position. We have Dan Becker, the newest officer, will be going to the academy next month, and that leaves us with 4 working road deputies to cover 6 shifts, 3 shifts on both sides, A and B shifts. So we have some great jail officers. I think there's some people from the outside who's expressed interest to me, so I think we'll have a great group of candidates. But we would like to start a process probably beginning next month. But before we get that ball rolling, I would like to get that position approved. It is road deputy number 6, number 10201.
I'll make a motion for road deputy number 6.
I second.
We have a motion to approve the 144 for road deputy. A second. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Ayes have it. Motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good night. Thanks for getting me up.
Now back to our regular scheduled program. Our minutes. Is everybody a chance to read the minutes? If so, are there any additions or corrections to the minutes?
Make a motion to approve them.
Motion approved, seconded. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor of approving the minutes, say aye. Say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Ayes have it. Motion carries. Anybody have any mail? They'd like to share? If not, our county attorney, Mr. Baker.
No, I have nothing needed reported.
Committee reports. Shirley, do you have anything for the committee?
I do not.
Okay. Dale, we have nothing, correct?
No.
Okay. Commissioner representative. President Jackson.
Good evening. We had a somewhat busy schedule this morning. I'll start out with something so you all may understand it, you may not. Our first department report this morning was from Richard Quorum, which brought up the fact about the new House Bill 1001 and Senate Bill 67. The county has received, excuse me, give or take a few thousand, about 342,000 combined. Now those monies must be spent, 25% went into the rainy day fund and the balance of it into the LOIC fund. Those monies have to be spent on infrastructure, but they can also be used for matching monies. So there is, those matching monies are obviously also for infrastructure, bridges, or roads and streets, etc. There's 500 some odd million, I believe, that the state has put back for matching monies, 50% of which is supposed to go to counties of 50,000 or less population, if I remember correctly. The criteria is you have to submit your programs. They're crunching this. You have to submit your projects, I should say, by 5 o'clock July the 15th by email. Part of that requires your comprehensive plan, which is the PACER plan. At some point in the future, the state has told our surveyor they may be requiring the same type of plan for bridges. So Butler Fairman has just at no extra charge included in the contract we signed with them for the PACER program. They've included our bridge inventory. We should have the full, complete report on the PACER program by the end of, by June 30th. We may have a preliminary report within the next week or so. So you're looking at 2 times $342,000 that we have available for road plans. I tossed around the idea and discussed it with Diane Wright, and I discussed it with Jane and with the surveyor. I don't want to confuse things, but I want to tell you what we're doing and why we're doing it. Bridge 25 on Harrisburg Road, 300 North, excuse me, out near 450 West. That's scheduled for replacement.
Is that the ones down the dip? Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right.
And I don't want to belabor the point, but the state came in 2008 or 9, came across, excuse me, the federal government came across the state and designated certain bridges as select bridges, and you'll understand what that is, meaning they're historically significant. The bridge is historically significant in my point of view because it's crumbling, and that's the only historicity attached to it. After applying for, after getting preliminary planning from Butler Fairman, et cetera, the state said, no, you cannot replace the bridge. It must be rehabbed. In April, we met with probably 8 or 9 state and federal officials at the bridge site. Different agencies are involved in this, including SHPO, which is the State Historical Preservation Organization that gets involved with NDOT on bridges of this nature. The Department of Natural Resources is involved. To make a long story short, the last status report is that we can replace the bridge, build a new bridge, but we have to build it back as is, but wider to accommodate 2 lanes for today's traffic. The point is, what I'm trying to make is the additional weight and delays may bring the cost of the bridge up an additional $400,000. The state may or may not, is yet to be seen whether or not they will pay their 80%, because it is a federal project, I should say federal. So I wanted to put, in anticipation of that, I wanted to put this $400,000 back from this 600, et cetera, in anticipation of that. However, the call for the bridge project won't be until 18. And these monies that we're receiving now have to be spent on present day projects. So we met last Friday at the Highway Department, myself, Surveyor Diana, forgotten who else, and Shirley. And we really can't, Richard is going ahead and figure out in his head some preliminary projects, but until we get the Pacer report back, we won't know exactly what programs we're going to do. Quite frankly, my plan is to spend every penny of the money. If we get the matching monies, then we want to get our report in, our request in as quickly as possible. So I know I ran a lot of stuff together all at once, but do you have any questions about anything about that?
And we're giving it to the first, 50% of it's going to the counties with a population of less than 50,000.
Yes.
So obviously we qualify for that.
Yes. Yeah. On the same subject, we signed a contract, or approved a contract this morning with Stephen J. Christian for our bridge inventory, not bridge inventory, bridge inspection. Believe it or not, we have 3 bridges that require a scuba diver for inspection. So a lot of these companies do not keep one on staff. Stephen J. Christian does. So we have contracted with them to do our bridge inventory. Also, they have upped the frequency of inspections on some of the bridges. I think they've gone from 2 or 3 years to 1 year on some of them, etc. So it was imperative that we do that. We approved a small contract this morning with the health department for World Point, and it was for them to process some of the stuff they do in the health department. We are having a special meeting Monday at 10 a.m. We are going to work on our edit plan, our capital plan then. We are also going to, Fayette County has 4 appointments to the new Regional Economic Development Commission, and at that time we will finalize our appointments to the commission. I've contacted some people. I have as yet to get back confirmation that they are interested. They wanted to see what it involved, basically. We also, the health department, we also are going to ask the state health commissioner to extend our emergency declaration on the hepatitis C, mainly for the syringe exchange program. I won't go into detail, but I can tell you that we've gone from 0 to 22 clients on a regular basis. It is working, but it's a slow start, but it's a sure start. And I know it's controversial, but again, I like to emphasize it is a health problem. Other than that, we are looking also at one other contract, and that's for our Title VI part of the ADA. We've solicited from 2 companies, and they elude me off the top of my head the names of them, but we have not approved anything yet. We simply solicited quotes from them to do our Title VI program. Any questions? Sir?
At the highway garage, what have they done about the drainage problem?
Nothing's been done yet, and I won't comment on that simply because it may turn into a legal problem. So I don't want to make any comments on that.
Okay.
It has not been forgotten.
Okay, well, one thing of it is, I'm not trying to get in an argument with you or anything about it, but last meeting, we asked for a meeting to decide what we was going to do and get with the contractor, or what was it, Mark, the one guy, sit down with the meeting.
Oh, you're talking about Mr. Industry.
Yes, and the problem has been an ongoing problem since we've taken the building.
Well, let me address
Okay.
that. I asked him for a sit down, and he was reluctant to without knowing the parameters to attend one without a counsel. And I forwarded those emails to our attorney. I've been kind of ill the last couple of weeks and haven't been here as much as I could have been otherwise. Having said that, I don't think we're going to go anywhere with him. And I really don't want to say any more because I think his stance is that everything's okay. We know.
Okay. When water don't drain into the drain and it goes around the drain, I don't see how you can say it's okay.
Jim, I don't want to say too much because anything we say can, if it comes to a court case, can be brought up in court.
Well, you know, I got, the only thing to say, I got pictures of it showing water going around the drain instead of into the drain.
Would you be kind enough to email those to me?
I'll give you a copy if everybody wants a copy.
That'd be fine. That'd be super.
Frank, I got a question. I was by Highways Garage again over the weekend. There's equipment parked back in the old building again. There's a yellow piece of machinery. I don't know what it was. I couldn't, tell from the road, but a yellow piece of machinery back in the building again.
Was it something that, it wasn't something that's just old, unused piece of equipment, it was something we were using?
I don't know. It wasn't a high piece. It was kind of a low piece of equipment. Wasn't real high. But it was in, I was by it 2 days and it was still there. Now, also, I asked you in an email, our 1-year anniversary is coming up on that sometime next month.
I know.
And I asked Richard Quorum to go through that building, and if he sees anything that would fall under a warranty issue, that he needs to get it written down so we can get that, documented, so we can bring it up to the contractor.
I said something to him about parking stuff in there the last time you brought it up. I will emphasize it a little differently this time.
Okay.
Yes.
That's sometime next month. I don't know the exact date, but we signed off on it.
17th, if I remember right, Mark.
17th.
I think.
So one for each of us,
Yeah. Yeah.
Need one more.
Wait a minute, let me get these over here. Russ, give me one of these there, will you? Frank, one of these pictures are from when we went 6 weeks ago and looked. The other one is when you started having the problem. And the colored one is when you started having the problem.
Mr. Baker, Frank said this might go into litigation. Is there any time frame that we know when this is going to start happening so we can, I like to, I want to get this thing corrected before next winter if we're going to do
The colored
anything.
one.
because
The colored one,
Obviously, it's, when we
Colored
bring the trucks in,
black and
the
white.
snow melts off of it. So what's the schedule, you think?
I don't know. Frank is
John,
working with the other side, trying to see if there's a possibility of going on without litigation. I think
You see the color?
Sure. I'm blind, I don't see anything.
You think you can have some idea when this might be going on by next meeting, or next meeting? No idea?
Not without the commissioners.
Well, okay, that's what you think.
No, I mean-
Possible, Frank? Get some kind of, if we're gonna have to do something to correct this,
I understand
we
that.
need to get it done before winter time next year.
Because of the because of the reasons I stated before, I'm not going to answer your question publicly. I will answer it privately for anybody if you want me to, okay? But there are options, there are paths that we can follow, but it's not wise to disclose to someone what you're going to do. It's just, and it's not a matter of keeping anything from the public. It's a matter of it could be a legal problem, and I don't want to go into it publicly. It's that simple
At this time.
at this time.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Any other questions? Sure.
And yes, so along that line, and I understand you're not wanting to
go one way or the other, but I would like to make a statement, and I think I made the statement the other day, that if there were any way to resolve this without having to go into, a court battle or whatever, and so then I'm directing the question to John as well as to the commissioners that, if we feel that our contractor feels there is no issue, then, communication, I'm hoping that we can communicate to the contractor who we feel hasn't done the job or may not have.
Okay,
That-
go on. Okay.
Would it be wrong to express our expectations? Number one, our feelings about it and our expectations of what. So often, we have found ourselves as a council with the possibility of going to court. And Judge, no offense meant about not going to go to court, but it's so expensive to go to court. But I feel like everybody here feels we know what should be done to fix the situation. And it would behoove everybody to let them know that we expect something to be done, and let's all save a lot of money and see what we can do to solve the problem. I don't want to, that's really what I want to say about that.
Can I interject something?
If we can officially say, because if the person we've been talking with doesn't feel there's an issue, then we've not said it loud enough, I guess. I would like to move on to one other thing. I've missed the opportunity with Joey, but we talked briefly about the opportunity to use the HIP plan to help with insurance or medical payments for people in the sheriff's department. And I know that there's been some new information come to light. And to me, I'm looking for, any opportunities to save some money. And I believe that this, the way I'm understanding, would be an opportunity to take advantage of. And I don't know who has the ball and is running with that. And do we need to get involved as a council and the commissioners to, I think we were all ready to take advantage of that last year, and then we're shut down, told that no, that didn't happen. But now we're being told that yes, it did, and why aren't you doing it?
Well, to begin with, it's a commissioner problem because or a commissioner situation because it deals with signing a contract. As I've told everybody before, even the sheriffs, when they went to the regional conferences, were under the impression, reading the same letter that I got, that the state was going to pay for our county inmates' medical insurance, medical problems while incarcerated. I even informed, I think it was Mike or Dale, maybe even the whole council.
Well, I think
Let him finish.
we went. Okay,
Okay.
we went as well too. We were told too.
Okay, about the entire thing. Then the sheriff informed me when he and others went to the regional council, oh no, that's not what the letter meant. I can tell you that 4 or 5 weeks ago, we met at a meeting at the hospital with the deputy health commissioner. She said she couldn't understand why departments weren't taking advantage of this and signing up for it. Whereupon I told her, says, no, I told her what I had just explained to you. She said, well, I helped craft that law. I know what the intent was. And our state representative and our state senator were also under the impression that it would pay for our inmates. It will not. What it will do is we need to sign a contract with DOC, and that pays for hospitalization only. Initially, it was not going to pay for anything but the initial, it wouldn't pay for anything the first 24 hours. It would start paying for it after that, a percentage. Well, as you well know, if you have as happens in jail, prisoners get upset and they slam their fist into the wall and the wall wins. So your bones are already set, or surgery has taken place, or if you have a serious medical problem, the first 24 hours are probably the most expensive. Now I understand, but I haven't been informed officially that, well, they'll start covering the first 24 hours. Okay, this isn't anything new. It's utter confusion. When you got a deputy health commissioner and two state representatives that are telling you, yes, we thought that they were going to cover the county's inmates' insurance, and then we find out they don't. Okay, then we find out, well, they're going to pay for the first 24 hours, not going to pay for the first 24 hours, then they are. I mean, how do you make heads or tails of that? No one wants to save any more money than what we do, okay? But until I get something in writing, I'm not committing to anything. And that's the status of it.
So in essence, when we finally get the information, we'll have to sign a contract with the state of Indiana or with a provider of,
If you go onto the DOC's website, there's a link on there for this particular contract. And it is something that will, if my latest information is accurate, that will help, okay, with hospitalization. But it's not going to help with our day-to-day costs. And as I'm sure you know, because of the influx of inmates, the jail, as of 3-4 weeks ago, was already at 57% usage of their medical
budget.
budgeted monies. So yes, this will be some kind of an offset, but it's not going to be what we thought it was going to be. It is what it is. I don't think I really need to elaborate. Any other questions about anything? I'm sorry, I don't know how else to answer. It's frustrating, you know.
No, but
You read a letter,
Yeah.
and to me, it's commonsensical. They're going to pay for your medical insurance.
it is very frustrating, but we've all learned a little more than we knew
Well,
before coming in here.
For
at
those
least
that
I-
don't know, if you have private insurance and you go to jail, your insurance company cuts you off as soon as they find out. Social Security, matter of fact, the jail, when I was sheriff, got a finder's fee from Social Security, a one-time fee of $400. If we reported that a person was incarcerated, I believe, if I remember correctly, past 30 days, and they were on disability or something like that, they cut their disability off. So, we're left with either a federal court decision for not treating someone correctly or properly according to protocols, established procedures, case law, etc., or we pay the bill.
Thank you. I didn't mean to add to your frustration. but-
Well, it's not you, Shirley.
See
And
where we-
it's not the questions either. It's trying to stretch $10 into 15, and that's not something that you ladies and gentlemen are unfamiliar with. I understand that. I will see what the latest is on this contract. I actually have a note on my desk and to talk to John about it. So we'll see where we go from there. And I should have a report on that at the next meeting. Any other questions about it?
Well, I just want
Thank you.
to make a statement, Shirley, just so everybody for the record. This is not the highway garage is not a contractor problem. This is
Right.
a design problem. So it goes back to design firm. Everything was installed per the drawings. So it really falls back on the design firm, not the contractor.
Perhaps I should. I don't remember what I said, but if I said contractor, I
Well,
stand.
Shirley
And I
mentioned
know I did.
I
and
stand
so-
Yeah, so I
corrected.
just wanted, it's a design firm problem,
I-
not a contractor.
If I said contractor, I
know.
stand corrected.
Okay, but I just
And
want
I
to sort
did
of.
also, thank you.
Okay, that's it.
Any other questions about anything?
Anything?
Thank you, Frank.
All right, thank you, appreciate it.
Does anybody have any old business to bring up? If not, we move on to new business.
Oh, wait, Jim.
Judge Butch, she's sleeping over there in the corner.
I'm sorry,
She fell asleep in the corner.
I didn't. Almost, but not quite.
What are you gonna do?
Good evening. I'm here because I will be submitting a 144. I was here several weeks ago with a 144 for a new employee, and that new employee was not able to meet the requirements for the job, and she has been terminated. So I have been short an employee for the last, I'm going to say 2 or 3 weeks. The auditor has the dates that the employee worked, and I can't remember them off the top of my head. I don't remember the last.
At least 3.
It's been a good 3 weeks. And as you recall, the last time I was down here, I had requested that the 2 employees that have been steadfast employees be paid to cover the extra work, and that hasn't been done. So they've been working the last 3 weeks. But I'm down here tonight because I have been in discussions with my former court reporter who I replaced, and she is willing to return at her previous salary, which was $20,242. And that is already in the budget because she was working at the beginning of the year when we had this budget submitted. She is a very experienced, excellent, reliable employee, and I hated to see her leave, but she left because she relocated and she got a job paying more money. But she has since decided to return to Fayette County, and so has inquired about the job, and I would be absolutely delighted to have her return because she worked at the sheriff's department, she worked at the clerk's office, and then she came to work in the circuit court. So she has all of the experience I need. She was my criminal court reporter, so you've heard me talk before about the electronic abstracts of judgment that we need to prepare now to get the DOC to accept our county prisoners and get them sent off so that we can stop housing and feeding them. So at any rate, she's very, very good, and so I'm asking that you approve her returning at her salary, which was $20,242. That's a difference of $1,700, but as I said, that was in the budget, and you've not been paying this third salary for at least 3 weeks now, plus there was another period of time before I hired the former person when that salary wasn't paid. So I'll be submitting a 144 for that, if that's acceptable. Also, she wanted to return with her. She had worked herself up to the point where she had 2 weeks of vacation and 8 sick days, but she would delay taking those for 6 months, but would still like to return with those available to her after 6 months. So I would need your approval for that as well. So that's why I'm here.
I'll make a motion on the pay to bring her back since she's already experienced.
You ain't gonna include the 2 weeks?
How long has she been gone?
How long has she been
When
gone?
she makes the
I can't answer that question without going back and digging through some
6
records.
weeks?
I'm sorry. I'm going to say, oh gosh.
Less than a year?
Yeah.
Oh, way less. I'm going to
Okay.
say like
Month and a
10
half.
weeks.
Yeah, it hasn't been long.
It seems like forever to me, but it hasn't been that long. It hasn't been 3 months.
I'll go ahead, since she's got the experience, and go in on the vacation too.
And I'd like to second that motion.
Thank
You on
you.
the sick days as well? I just want to clarify, Jim.
6 days.
All the benefits restored?
Everything.
Okay, that's what I wanted to confirm.
And I'm not trying to throw a monkey wrench in anything, but we paid her
What?
I know.
accrued vacation.
Yes, I remember.
Okay,
Question.
so she wouldn't have any left, right?
Right,
So-
but
so
she
you're
would
requesting that she gets
start.
new vacation?
Yes.
So
She
when-
wants to
When
start.
would she start?
I'm sorry.
When would she start? If we approve
I want to
it.
get back to that.
Well, when would she start?
Yeah, because she said that she would delay it for 6
It is-
6 months.
yes.
So that's
Well,
going
she
to
would-
throw it towards the end of the year, so.
It would, yes.
So-
And I'm
she-
not sure how much notice she's going to give to her present employer. I
Okay.
haven't pinned her down on that yet.
So what you're saying is we've paid her, she had,
I know she had what she had accrued, she was paid when she left.
right. So that would have been, used everything up for the year.
So I'm not saying that she's due any vacation or sick days at the present time. What I'm saying is when you have some seniority, you get a certain number of sick days and vacation days a year, there's no question that she's used up what she accrued, because I understand she was paid for that.
So she wouldn't have anything available this year then? She would start next year?
Right, but not starting
Not starting at zero.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Okay, that's what I'm
So I think we need
saying.
to clarify that it starts next year, not this year, because she's already been paid for all of her sick days of vacation for this year, this fiscal year. So do you just want me to restate that?
Yeah, just restate for.
Okay, Jim's motion to be to accept reinstate the pay that she was at, the vacation and sick days that she was at prior to leaving, but her vacation and sick days would not start until next fiscal year.
Okay.
Okay, and is there a second on that?
Sure.
Sure, second.
I did second, but with the idea that they would continue on, but I do understand that if, in fact, she's already been paid for this year, and again, I don't know.
Yeah, that's what,
You don't want to second it?
I do want to say.
okay. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Ayes have it, motion carries.
Thank you very much, I appreciate it.
Mr. President, can I speak again?
Yeah. You didn't have enough the first time?
I apologize, I forgot to bring up a couple matters. One real quick, State Board of Accounts approached the legislatures last year. We approved an internal controls policy this morning for the county. It's a one-page sheet of paper. I don't have it with me, but it is something that was approved by our attorney. Also, you'll need to know this information come budget time. Department of Labor, and Dale is up on this information, has changed the level by which people must be accommodated, exempt or non-exempt, correct me if I'm wrong, Jane. The exempt employees will be entitled to the overtime, correct? Okay. Exempt employees, such as our appointed employees, will be entitled to overtime and either compensation or at time and a half, unless their annual salary is at or exceeds $47,892. The previous threshold was $23,660. So, come budget time, Jane went to a conference. You can talk to her privately. She can give you probably much more detail, or I can give you a copy of this if you want one, okay? It simply states that our appointed officials, unless they make it to $47,892, are entitled to overtime at either time and a half money or compensatory time back. So the way, if you don't want to pay them the overtime, then you have to raise their salaries to that level. So,
How much overtime do you think they're getting, your appointees?
you know, your heaviest overtime is going to come in perhaps Terry with dispatch. The highway superintendent, some during bad weather, maybe a few hours each week. I think the majority of it will probably come from your emergency services, such as 911. The sheriff's an elected official. It doesn't make much difference.
Be your
whereas-
dog pound, I guess, would be a
Well,
point.
it won't make any difference with community corrections because that's grant monies. So,
We only got 3 or 4 appointments, though, right?
I'm sorry.
3 or 4 appointments, the highway.
That would fit in this
Okay.
category. 3, 4, 5, something like that, yes. So, any questions?
Did you say elected officials were included or
No,
were
no,
not?
no.
Okay.
Appointed officials. Appointed officials. Okay, that's all, so I can say I didn't forget. Thank you.
I'll leave a spot for you here and a couple more people.
He'd be the one to get it. He'd be the one to use
DLGF, I'm sure that's, is that referring to our audit?
I'm sorry, the budget meeting, that's the day that GLGF is going to be here to work with us
Oh, okay.
on the budget. She sent me, that we were tentatively on her calendar, the 24th of August.
Okay,
For when?
So I guess that means we need to have all the rest of what we do done prior to that.
Okay.
We can handle it.
And we do not have a date for that, for our budget? I thought we did, but,
I can't find it.
well, let's just get that set now. Council, the budget hearings, when do we want to do that? I think we've typically done that the second week of August, starting on Monday. Do we want to do the same?
Fine with me.
Okay, starting at 8, 9? Okay. Dale, you have to get up extra early.
Yep. So that would be the week of August 8th.
August 8th. August 8th.
Yeah. There's no reason to start before 9, is there?
Just because you not up.
Well, our department heads and everyone's not in the courthouse, you know. In order to be fair with them, you don't want to have to pay them overtime and come in at 6 o'clock in the morning, do you?
Well, the highway's here by 8, aren't they? Aren't they going by 8 o'clock?
Well,
So we'll start at 9.
9 o'clock.
What is it?
9, because Dale didn't get his coffee yet.
mhm.
No, not Fayette County.
It's not likely that the auditors started on a list yet either.
They can try to
But you'll get to that. We'll talk about that later.
I have sent out the budget packages to all the department heads, like last year's information and everything they need for this year.
And June 30 is the deadline to have those in
Yes.
to your office, right?
Okay, so we're good on that?
Yep.
All right, moving on. Next item on our agenda is the library board appointment. I received a letter from Mary Alice DeVore requesting that she remain on the library board. Now, her letter says that her term expires in July, yours says June.
Mary Jane.
The
Either way.
The term, I can't remember what her letter might say, but terms expire on June 30.
Okay.
I remember your motion.
I make a motion that we leave Mary.
Okay, the motion to leave Mary in this position or reappoint her. Is there a second?
Second.
Second, any further discussion? Not all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Ayes have it, motion carries. Two things that I added under new business. June 21st at 6 p.m., that's a Tuesday, we have a joint meeting with the commissioners to talk about public safety tax and other budget concerns that we're going to be encountering.
What the date?
June 21st,
What time?
6 p.m.
I have a conflict.
That'd be here, Mike.
Yeah, probably we'll get Judge Freed's chamber, courtroom and see if we can hold it there. It'll be here in the courthouse.
Okay, so you know about this other thing on the 21st at 9:11. Email just came to me today.
And it's also Fayette County Women's Voices, Fayette County Conversations, where it will be attended by, I believe, many of the government officials.
Okay.
It's scheduled from 5 to 7:30. The tax meeting
I don't know
is
what,
from 1 until 3:30.
I don't know what government officials are going to be there.
Well, I don't know either, but
I mean, we're talking about county council, we're talking about county commissioners.
Well, I intend to be at the other
Okay.
meeting, and I believe that the mayor will be at the other meeting, and there might be others,
That's fine. I
the
mean,
commissioners. You
We
say
don't-
it's the council and,
council and commissioners.
Command County. Wilmington
oh,
City.
so then it is not a city.
No, that's the next night. That's the 22nd.
Yeah, right.
I didn't get to that one yet.
Oh, okay.
That's 6 p.m. That's for the Board of Works and all of us to get together and talk. Some of
Is
us
it
the same-
possible to put ours on the next night?
How are you going to do that?
I don't know, that's why I asked if it were possible.
I think that is the council and the commissioners should probably discuss some things amongst themselves that pertain to us rather than the city. Because we're going to have to do some negotiating, I guess, with the commissioners probably, and we have to be all on the same page because we got to figure something out before the budget hearings.
Okay, and so the topic of this meeting is about the budget?
Public safety tax and budget.
Yeah, that's more important than the other one, sure.
I'm
in
very
June 21,
extremely
what time?
important.
Russ.
6. They're both at 6.
Trash can.
I got a call the other day from the News Examiner
That's probably what it was about.
wanting to comment about this meeting. I told him I didn't know anything about it.
That was probably a good thing to do.
Well, yeah, well, I didn't. Nobody told me anything.
The newspaper found out about it before we did.
It was advertised.
They're the news media, that's the reason why.
Oh,
No.
okay.
Okay, Mike, we're still on for the 21st, right?
Yes.
Have the
Good boy.
commissioners
6
been,
p.m.
Stick to your guns.
6 PM.
have the commissioners been informed
Yeah.
of this?
I talked to the president.
Okay. And then June 22, it's what?
City and us.
City council?
But we talked about this beginning about having regularly scheduled meetings.
Yes.
2 at the
Two
city,
of them.
2 at the city, and then every other month, I think, with the commissioners, which we hadn't done.
What time's up?
6.
6.
Here,
Conference room?
Yes, here.
Well, you want to go to the mayor's chambers?
yeah.
You got it now. You know where you're supposed to
Okay.
be. Yeah.
We good?
Yeah,
All right.
I'm fine.
Additional appropriations. Our coroner is up next.
Good evening. I think you probably have a copy of what I am requesting and an explanation for those. I am requesting for pathologists to be paid for the autopsies that he's done to date. And also for lab work, which is, we consider a chemical autopsy. There's a full autopsy, there's a chemical autopsy. Full autopsy is done by a pathologist, and the toxicology is, of course, lab work. And I am requesting additional funds for this. And also for transportation costs, I do not have my own vehicle. Decedents have to be transported to the morgue for autopsy or placed there in waiting until family members can be reached. So that is what I'm requesting at this time.
Who usually transports them?
It is between Urban Winkler and Miller Monster Roberts.
How many transports we have in a year?
Oh,
I don't
gosh.
think it's been exceptional year.
Well, the last 2 years have, 2.5 maybe.
Right.
Probably, more than 20,
20.
more than 20.
Well, they charge $250,
No, $75.
75 guys.
I used to have to pay more than that when I did transport, had them transport to Hamilton County, Ohio for autopsies, which I no longer have to do. I've been fortunate enough to have a pathologist that comes to our local hospital and does autopsies, has been for the past year, year and a half. Hospital's been kind enough to allow him to utilize those, serve the morgue there, which has saved that cost. But then autopsies went up, so it's 6 of 1.
Vicki, these are the same additionals you submitted a month or so ago, and we didn't act on them, right?
No, I asked for one autopsy to be paid, which was paid out of the commissioner's budget, apparently. That was for one, that was due. I'm just asking for autopsy money as they come due. I'm not going to ask for an amount to get me through the end of the year. There's no way it can be predicted. We could not have another one the rest of the year, which I doubt, because of the critical situation that we're in right now, all over the state, not just here. So as the autopsies are performed, then I'll come and ask you for my pathologist to be paid.
Yeah, you're right. Your memory is better than mine because I forgot about the transfer out of the commissioner's budget to take care of your last request. Jane, we do you do settlement with the treasurer next week, is that correct?
16th,
The
yes.
16th? Okay. Since right now, we don't have any money to additional,
We can
I
approve
think
it.
we could approve these and you could hold them.
I have already spoken with my pathologist, and he's aware of the circumstances that we have here
Yeah.
at this time, and also AIT, which is where I send blood work to be done, and of course, my transporters, everyone's been made aware that, how we have to go about this, and that there may be a longer delay, a little bit longer delay.
Yeah.
We could, even if we can't sign them to approve it tonight, we can do it the 21st too.
DLGF will not approve an additional appropriation until after June 30th.
Okay.
After June 30th, okay.
So we have
I thought it was immediately after settlement. Okay.
Okay.
Assuming.
So it addresses in July.
Vicki,
Yeah.
I got a question. Full autopsy versus a chemical, who decides, who makes those decisions? You strictly? Okay.
Only me. Well, the law mandates. The
Okay.
law mandates for certain things, there's some I don't have a choice on. And
Okay.
the law's clear.
Now, the relatives of the victim, they can request an autopsy too, right?
At their cost.
Okay, at their cost.
If I deem one is not necessary, they
Then they
may, the legal next of kin, not a family, the legal next of kin, and that can be different in each situation, they can do that at their cost.
And they can do both of them, or either one of them, right? At their cost.
Whatever they choose to do.
Gene, if these are approved, how are you gonna handle this? How are you gonna handle this? You're gonna hold it off
We have to
until
wait till July.
July to
Yeah.
transfer it in? Is
We have to wait to approve until July too, don't we?
that what you're gonna do?
I don't know if you guys can go ahead and approve them now or not, but DLGF will
I
not.
think we better have to wait.
Or you just wait till July?
Well, she doesn't have to submit them to the DLGF until July 1st.
Right.
Our July meeting is July the 5th. We could either approve them now, she could hold them until, and not submit them until July 1st, or we could just postpone it until our July 5th meeting.
Is this money, is this here already spent? Is these bills to be paid?
Yeah, they are spent, but my vendors they understand, because I was able to.
So would they wait till July the?
I believe they will.
They have no
I
choice.
will.
There's
There's
no
really no
choice.
Okay, so then this is a dead issue then,
Right,
right?
I mean, it doesn't matter if we approve it now or approve in July. It's half a dozen of one, six of another.
Yeah, okay.
So.
But I
whatever
will,
council has to do.
forward emails to each one of them and let them know that I will, checks will not be cut until that time.
We can go ahead and approve it and she can hold them when it's done.
What would the auditor prefer here?
Yeah.
You can go ahead and approve them tonight, and I'll just hold
Okay,
them.
all right.
I think that'd be the simplest way to do it.
I think so
She's
too.
done.
That way nobody has to come back.
As long as you do understand there's no guarantee that DLGF will approve it after June 30th.
Right.
Okay,
Where do you mean?
just throwing it out there.
I just have one more thing to say. I appreciate your understanding. Thank you so much, all of you. If you don't already know, and you probably already do, I know Kay is well aware, we've set in some conferences together. We have a critical situation in our county, across the state, but in our county with heroin and opiate use and overdoses. They are higher than they ever have been in the state of Indiana, which also leads to, as Frank alluded to, health department issues with communicable diseases. This is all rolled in all together. So we have a very serious, critical issue here of overdose deaths and overdoses in general. I'm sure you're all aware of that, but I just want to let you know that my office is more than fully aware of it.
Vicki, there was from what I understand, there was a house down Washington Street that they done drug raid on. Those people was there in there 2 weeks, and they found over 100 needles on the floor.
I don't doubt that.
Yeah.
I don't doubt that.
I make a motion that we go ahead and approve these appropriations for
I'll second it.
the coroner's office.
We have a motion to approve the additional appropriations to take effect after June 30th, hopefully. Has been seconded.
I second it.
Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Ayes have it, motion carries.
Thank you all very much.
Kristen?
I need to get on.
Hello. I have a 144 that I have brought for approval. We had submitted a request to the Indiana State Department of Health to use carryover funds from our local health maintenance fund, which is what we use to pay two of our part-time employees. And we had got approval from the state to use those carryover funds to take one of our part-time nursing positions into a full-time position. It's for Megan Sparks. And the carryover money would pay for her salary and all benefits. Social Security, Medicare, unemployment, so there would be no cost at all to the county. It's completely covered by this grant. So we just need to have the 144 approved.
Sounds pretty simple.
Did you say these are carryover funds from a grant?
Yes, we receive a grant every year, and that is how we pay. It's how we pay Megan now when she was part-time. We also have another employee who was paid through that grant, and we've accumulated enough of those funds over the years that we were able to have approved to, I think it was about $60,000 for Megan to have at least 2 years full-time with all of her salary and benefits paid by this grant.
Okay, so this would move Megan from part-time, present part-time, to full-time.
Yes.
And salary and benefits are paid by
Grant.
the grant.
Yes, everything is paid by the grant.
Is this for a 2-year period, did you say?
Yes, that we have enough money right now carried over to pay for 2 years.
Okay.
No-brainer deal.
Your motion.
Yeah, she did all the work for us.
Yeah.
Make motion, then.
I'll
Yeah.
move I'll move to approve the 144 for the health department.
I'll second it.
We have a motion to approve the 144 for the health department. It's been seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Opposed, nay. Ayes have it, motion carries.
Thank you.
And I guess we got nobody else on the list. Jenna, Frank, did you want to come up again?
No, thank you.
Hey,
Jenna?
Mr. Conrad, you want to talk?
We're out of money, Janice. No.
It's okay, because we've got a grant.
I know.
I like those.
I know, I figured you would.
Basically, I've submitted a 144 for the 2 new probation officer positions created when we were awarded the grant from DOC. It's $32,148, which is the starting salary that was established by the Judicial Conference. And that, the grant includes salary and fringe benefits.
And you did
My
warn us
que-
last month that you would be here with this
Yeah.
request.
And I haven't hired anyone in particular. I'm actually starting the interview process tomorrow and hope to have a decision by the end of the month. But then I will get with Judge Butch, which is our supervising judge, for final approval.
So these are 2 new employees, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so if you hire them now, that would take them through this time next year.
Correct.
What are you gonna do for the next 6 months of next year?
You-
What happens if you don't get another grant, then the county's gotta pick up their...
Well, I advertise this, and I'm going to make it very clear that it is grant funded. And that if we did not get the grant in the future, that then the position would no longer be available.
Okay.
I've asked that question because it's made me nervous, and DOC has basically stated they don't foresee that there's really going to be an issue with this. These monies are the same monies that Community Corrections, that created Community Corrections. It's from like 2000 or so that this funding has been around, so there's nothing to indicate that it wouldn't.
How many clients they get off the bat?
I'm sorry, what?
How many clients you gonna give them right off the bat?
As many as they can handle.
How many you got to give them?
Well, that's the thing, is I'm looking at workload measures and spreading things out better than how we've got it, but we have over 500 people on probation and 3 adult officers.
And 3?
Yes. And the grant, the way I wrote the grant too, is that they have to focus on felony offenders supervision, because we're changing our whole department. We're working more on behavior modification and criminal thinking. It's not going to be just a matter of checking in with the probation department to see if you've followed all the court orders. We're going to be proactively addressing their thinking and what's wrong with it, and motivating them to make a change in trying to reduce recidivism so we don't get them back. And we've done tons of training and have a lot more to do. So I honestly don't know how we're going to break that out. I've had a department-wide meeting for input for my employees, but I mean, they can have anywhere up to 100 apiece. I mean, it just, felony, I'm going to try to keep their caseloads down, because they really should be spending more time and doing more work with the high-risk felons than a low-risk misdemeanor who's only usually on for a
Who's
year.
following up on the money when the judge orders them to pay the county back? Whose
It's-
follows up on that?
It's up to the probation department to
Your
follow up that
department?
collection, and on the last day that they're on probation, if they've not paid, we file a violation of probation. It's a technical violation for non-payment of fees, and then it can go back to court, and then it's up to
So you wait till the
court.
last day that they're on probation before
We
you
have
start?
to,
You have to?
because they have till the last day to pay it. So if they come in on the last day and pay it all, then we wouldn't be doing anything, so we don't know until the last day.
It's gotta be kind of a deterrent though. I mean, if they know that they could go back to jail for not paying it, then
Well, that's where the issue lies with us as far as collection too, is we have to, it's up to the court to determine if they're able to pay. So if they have no income or they're on a limited income, it's up to the court to determine that. If they cannot pay that, it still stays on the books as a civil judgment. So it still can be collected by the county. Say they won the lottery, 2 weeks later, if we could actually file a civil suit to get that money collected. You can't you can't give them jail time if they're unable to pay. Now, if it's determined that they can and they didn't, you can. The problem lies in getting the information to prove that they can pay.
Your department follows up on that? Is that right?
Yes. That's part of their monthly check-in.
Now,
of
do you
what
have
they've
a
paid and what they
person
haven't.
or persons that follow up on that,
It would be the probation officer that's assigned to that caseload.
assigned to that
person.
case?
Mhm. And we've actually improved even with our economy. We've done a couple things in the last year that's actually improved our collections. I don't know if you recall, we switched over to being able to collect from credit cards. So say family members could go directly and pay that online, or they can call the office to do that. And actually, one of the administrative assistant, Alana, is excellent with addressing it each and every time that they come to the window. Are you paying today? What are you paying? Why haven't you paid? When are you going to pay? And that's increased, I think, just simply asking them over and over has gotten more money. So we've actually increased our
Is there a
collections.
record, do we have a record of that showing up where they pay, where that comes in?
Well, we do.
And I guess I gotta tell Dale that it must come into our slush fund.
Well,
Is there any coming into our slush fund?
You're the one over the slush funds.
Yeah, I just wondered about how that's getting, how much we've collected in those funds.
well, we deposit it to the auditor every day. We take any money that we collected and
But I'm talking about
deposit
court
it
money,
on-
that they're ordered to court The court has ordered her to pay back the county.
Right.
Okay.
That there, we have a separate fund under probation. We have one for Superior Court, one for Circuit Court, and one for Juvenile Court. So wherever that money's collected, it gets deposited in the appropriate fund. And then that's what I go off of on doing budget for the next year.
So Gene, you have a record of that then when that comes on here, right?
Mhm.
So we could see that,
Yes.
what we're collecting.
No, you have, nobody's made a
I'll make a
motion.
motion. I'll move to approve the 144 for the probation department. for the
I'll
two-
second.
The motion to approve the 144 has been seconded. Any further discussion pertaining to this? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Ayes have it, motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Patron concerns.
Yes, I got this email today about this
You're not a patron.
Eastern Indiana, that's true, Eastern Indiana Local Government Focus Group, where they would like to have 3 county council and 1 commissioner at this meeting.
When?
It's June 21st. Should have got an email. It's from 11 to 12:30. Now, light lunch is included. They'll see you do job.
You won't be up then. You're just getting out of
Might be
bed.
his breakfast.
Just putting on his Snoopy slippers.
But I just wonder if we want to see who wants to go to this.
I won't be able
because
to, I got-
They only want 3 people from the council and 1 commission.
I won't be able to.
And I wish to attend,
Shirley, you said you will attend?
yes.
Okay. Mark, do you want to?
I
Mark?
have to check my schedule and see.
Mark
I think
Bowden?
Mr. Nobby should go because he's going to be either on council next year or a commissioner, so he can represent both sides. One of the 2 possible.
Think it's a good idea.
Because they want that, because they don't want to have a quorum.
There you going?
going?
You don't want to miss this meeting, do you? You're on the budget thing here, man. You don't want to miss that.
Bring food.
I just saw the email this afternoon, just like Mark did.
This was emailed to me.
Yeah, I'd like to take that meeting in, but wouldn't hurt you to be there either, right?
Well, I didn't get that on my flip phone. I didn't get that email.
He can't attend. He's
I
got
can't attend.
he's got a show that night in Missouri.
That's right. Yeah, I got to attend. I can't attend that meeting. Hey, I'm not going to be here next year, so you need to be here and get all that information.
Yeah, we'd still love to have your company.
Oh, I know you would, but I can't.
So we got 3
email
people?
you. You start emailing me on my flip phone, I'll start showing
Dale,
up.
you'd be a good one, Dale, because they want to,
Yeah,
talk
Dale would
about
be
their
good.
financial,
Yeah.
hardships.
I'm just gonna throw the gavel up in the air and
Just throw it up in the air and just holler.
Okay, so you're going to go.
give up. We lost control of the council.
There was also, I believe it was Sunday's paper. There were 3 editorials. They were great editorials, but the third one was from this DeBoer's gentleman. And it was about the successful passing of referendums asking for additional tax money. And he had written that, and I think it's helpful to review that. And I think it speaks to what we're facing on the 21st meeting and at the budget meetings, and because it behooves us to have our questions ready.
When it comes to referendums, Shirley, I don't think Larry DeBoer understands Fayette County like we do.
I don't think he does either.
That's right.
Mr. Caldwell, you were rudely interrupted as you were getting up by our council.
No, sir.
How many did you get?
Just wanted to let you know about events that the Soil and Water Conservation District's going to be having. One of them will be the river cleanup. It's our 7th annual. I think you've heard of this before, and you're invited to come and get wet and dirty like everybody else. It's great fun. On July 21st, not June 21st, which everything else seems to be on, but July 21st. That's a Thursday. In the past, we've done it the week after the county fair, the Saturday after the county fair ends, but school and state fair scheduling and a bunch of other things are compressed so that we can't do it. So we moved it ahead of that. We're going to try a Thursday. 8 to noon, free meal, a really cool T-shirt, so you all ought to come get it. It's a county beneficial function, and I've already hit Mr. Jackson up on this, but if y'all have any employees that you can turn loose of for that morning, floating down the river picking up trash would be a pretty good thing for them to get to do. They feel very invigorated and work very hard that afternoon. So there's this. The other, a couple of other events we've got coming up are, here, Mr. Baker, you'll come to that, won't you? The couple of other events on September 10th, and I'll be publicizing these things, but on September 10th, we're having a Soil Health Field Day. That's also, that's a Saturday, and that's primarily farmer oriented. That'll be on September 10th, just here.
September 10th?
Yes. And we'll have more publicity about that. And then the other thing that's new is going to be a Wildlife and Forestry Field Day on Thursday, October 20th, down and start at down at Wingnuts Airfield. And in case there's rain, we can just do what we need to do in the hangar, but there's some nearby activities that are going to be pretty interesting, I think, for a lot of people. There's some beehive placements, there's some new forestry and old forestry demonstrations to look at. I have a monarch butterfly expert there, and a wildlife, Nate Yazel, the conservationist for the state, and Jason Waterman and a bunch of other people talking about a number of different things that most people won't get to hear all of because they can pick and choose what they're going to look at. We're shooting for that. That's a Thursday. It's the week of what do you call it? School vacation or whatever. The kids are off school that week, so we're hoping to get a lot of kids educated there about conservation and a number of things that would be beneficial. So that's it. July 21st, September 10th, and October 20th.
What is the September 10th again?
September 10th is a Soil Health Field Day. We'll have some soil pits dug to show what's happened when you do a cover crop. We're doing minimum tillage and a number of other things like that that are pretty helpful for soil and water conservation.
Where's that going to be held at?
I'm sorry?
Where's that going to be held at?
At just here east of town on 44, Jeremy Wessler's. You know where I mean? So it's almost across, it's directly east of the Heritage House. So it's very easy to get to. A good, really good big barn we can be in if it's raining, and they'll have soil pits dug, they'll demonstrate a planter operation and a number of things.
Go to the Henry Farm.
Pardon?
The old Henry.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Okay? Thank you.
Thank you. Any other patron concerns? If not, entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion to adjourn, seconded. All those in favor say aye.
All right.
Meeting adjourned.